before, we are in favor of space travel, since we think it inspires people from all over the years, and famous scientists had said ideas or came up with theories which has as the main point the space. For example, Albert Einstein came up with a special theory of relativity, and I think this is very effective when you want to listen and to learn further things about this specific field. And new scientists may be inspired by them. So it's our first argument, and we think it's one of the most vital ones.
If you excuse me, I would like to make a question, to ask a question. Why you think we shouldn't venture into the space further?
Well, Stella said that space traveling offers many opportunities for new discoveries and that are not so directly helping in our daily life. And the big amount of money spent on space traveling doesn't justify those discoveries. I mean, there are more serious problems that could be solved with those monies instead of with those money instead of just searching something that might not at the end be discovered.
We haven't even searched our own planet, Earth. There are so many things here, places that are unexplored.
As Chris said before, he said that this is not going to help in our daily routine. And I want to say that all that we have, from cell phones to global positioning systems, making weather forecasters and make predictions about tsunamis, attacks from comets and other space matter. And we think it's very useful, especially when you want to predict the things I mentioned before. So I think it's not useless.
Furthermore, there is another problem. It is called overconsumption, and it is from the USA. They turn to other countries to make and produce some products, and they can't because we have limited resources. We have to expand our resources, and space is an opportunity because in one asteroid we can find platinum and other metals that are even more from the number of Earth.
I'm sorry, but in addition to what Irene said, I want to add that many diseases have been diagnosed better since we learned from different elements, particles, and from basic theories. And many people who were who had these diseases have been cured. So I think it's very good for the humanity.
Sorry, but how is this relevant to our topic?
We mean that astronauts in the International Space Station every day make researches from some particles. I don't know very much of that, but elements and these in the micro world, which helps to cure difficult diseases.
Well, sorry, can I add something?
Yes.
You asked if it's relevant or not. Okay, it may not be relevant to the point, but it is to a certain extent, because in NASA, aka NASA, where there are many scientists from different fields, and while they try to find how we can venture into space safer and with the lowest expense, they come up, they find things that help us every day. Do you know the frying pans, the fires?
Yeah.
That was from an experiment from NASA.
Yeah, I see what your point is, but I think that all these inventions that have come out of space travel projects are indirect benefits of it, and they weren't certainly
Do you own a
the
cell
end
phone?
aims.
Do you own a cell phone?
Yeah, of course.
Do you want to own a cell phone for?
Don't you think that?
Well, I think cell phones weren't the aim of NASA when they produced it. They just needed it to communicate with their space
You
satellites
are
when
right.
they launched it.
Don't you
You're
think
right,
that,
but without that, you
Well,
wouldn't have.
Well,
Yeah, but
this
cell
invention
phone
could have
yourself.
been invented without spending all the money to launch a space shuttle.
No, not without satellites.
well, as long
Well,
as there
satellites are. Okay, Chris.
yeah,
go on.
as long as there were already telephones, it was natural that mobile phones would come next. So anyway, without even the space missions, this could have happened. Maybe with a little bit a little bit delayed, but yeah, I don't think that this would stop
I
telephones.
It
wanted to
would
add something
cause-
to what you,
Sorry.
Beko, said and Stella about finding cures about diseases. Don't
Yep.
you think that if the scientists focused on this field, not by coming up with that, by doing experiments for space, don't you think that they would find it more quickly if they would focus on finding cures for diseases
Yeah.
and many other aspects?
Yeah, that's our point. That's the point we're making here. It's that all these things you're talking about are not the direct aim of space traveling. And had we focused only on these things, the inventions of them would have been faster, I guess. And I think that if we use space travel as just a way of motivating ourselves to find new technologies, there's no point in wasting so much money. on
There's
that.
another point too. We don't came up only with that idea, but we also want to say that venturing into space unites people from different countries and cultures for one purpose: to discover the unknown, as it's in the human nature, to be an explorer, and also some they are
Well,
immigrants.
sorry for interrupting you,
Yeah.
but about the first thing you said about uniting people, I think that the first time man traveled to the moon, I think it was something close to a competition between the USA and the Russian and the Russia. So I guess it's not really of a uniting factor. It's rather separating.
Apart from
But
that,
I think, and also about your point of adventuring and the curiosity of man.
Yeah.
I believe that it has been found that give me the numbers. 95% of Earth's oceans are unexplored, and 60% of species are also undiscovered. So 80%, sorry, species are undiscovered. So I think that if we were to venture on and find and search for things, it should be here on Earth.
yeah, but
May I say something?
yeah, sorry.
I believe that that isn't a fact anymore, because since Japan, India, and China joined the game, now everyone is with NASA. Even the Russians help them It's
Well,
it
okay,
isn't
but-
something about the countries.
I'm
It's
not-
something
I'm-
about the people, who we are. We
Okay,
need to
Stella
discover.
mentioned before that finding material in a planet to be used as a resources for new developments is something very good and pleasant. But can you imagine what would this cause? I mean, if something like that was found in another planet, then who would every
Claim
country?
it.
Yeah, who will claim? Who
Please.
would claim it?
Take a look at this. That's an actual map about not a planet but an asteroid that travels near the Earth.
It has.
What's that supposed to mean?
That's supposed to mean
very
that
dangerous.
that's supposed to mean that in 4 months travel you can go there and exploit as much platinum in only 4 months as human history did ever. And
Remind me.
1 in 4 devices here and everything here, electronic, requires platinum to be made.
Well, I see your point, but you didn't answer on our question,
Yeah.
which was which country would claim all that platinum.
That's,
I don't think
The
this
country
would.
that would go there first.
So
And then
So it's
you
competition.
and then
Yeah.
you and me would be able to use it.
Yeah, but this doesn't unite all the people. I mean, only the country that produces.
It's actually quite the
then-
opposite.
Doesn't
Yeah.
produce.
I mean,
it brings back.
Yeah, they will use the platinum, but then they will produce products, so they will
So
only
you will
benefit.
buy and I will buy.
Yeah, but the
Why
money
not?
ends up in this country, not in
Yes.
everyone in the world.
Why not?
On the
Because
other,
The,
It's
the
another
iPhone
matter.
you own
Yeah.
was made in China. A certain part was made in India, and a certain different part was made in, I don't know, Vietnam or something.
Well,
And
even
do you
even
believe,
though
do you believe that those who are going to be the first who discover those materials would want to share them?
The point
course
is
they
not
will.
if
here.
we don't
Of course
find
they
more
will.
resources, there will be a war for water.
And the
So,
conditions
do you
of
think
those-
that when we discover that it is better to be a war than without
If we don't, the only the strong ones will exist. Imagine if we don't find what asteroids actually have water, and we can use it as fuel,
Great amounts.
and we can save the
But we
cost.
have greater
money.
things to have here. For example, there are so many crucial things that are going here on Earth. So why are we going to spend our thoughts and our time for
I may
thinking
have an
about?
explanation about what you're saying.
Yes,
And
please.
let me please tell that and answer me
Yes,
then.
yes,
Have you ever heard of overconsumption?
yes, of course.
5 countries in the whole earth. Okay, it's not countries, it's Europe, and then it's for more countries. America, Australia, Japan, and India. China. They consume 80% of the goods. 80%.
The global
And
goods, yeah.
the global goods. The rest, 20%, is shared here and there. I don't know.
Okay.
When you
That
say goods,
ideal
what
thing.
exactly you mean?
When I say goods, I mean food, sugar, salt, clothes, technological goods such as internet, computers, the latest technology.
You mean not everything starting from there?
Sorry, I didn't got your question.
You mean not everything that you mentioned were produced there?
The cause of overconsumption,
Mhm.
we use Earth's goods without limit, without controlling them, and it's not infinite.
uh,
So is
gonna
it the
end.
solution to
So-
stop?
To stop
Stop this?
overconsumption,
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Well,
And
this-
so
when we do this, then
So
there's not
what's
gonna
the
be
end of
any
the
need
space
for
travel?
venturing.
The Earth's resources end, and if we don't venture, we will stay in our cell and die.
Why not spend money in finding alternative sources of energies and spending those extraordinary amounts of money to travel there?
Well, you can be a
Because we
scientist
know-
and explore those ways, because I haven't heard them already.
Yeah, those great minds that are out there are constantly being being applied only to space traveling, and because the focus is set on there, they can't work with the current problems. which is our main point of why.
Not
Make
exactly.
an
I don't think that's a fact,
Why not?
because they already have found different resources, sustainable resources, but only those 5 countries use them. No
Well-
other countries use them. They won't let them use them. You know, there is there, it is there, but
Sorry
they
for
don't-
interrupting, but
Of course, please.
you think that if we are not going to spend money on space travels and exploring the universe, you think that people will spend their money in the food from all the countries to
Well, if we want the humanity to survive, we will. And adding to what Chris said earlier about the huge amounts of money spent on these programs, only the USA spends $7 billion annually. And that's only the USA. Just imagine all the other countries that could use this money to fight poverty and make terrorism or...
They
And
don't
also-
use it. They use it for their own good. And I think that it's a better solution to use it on space venture than use it to make atomic bombs or other weapons. It may bring more solutions than if we keep them and use them for our own purposes.
Well, Achille, you know why atomic bombs were used in this way?
Why?
At first, this kind of energy was aimed to be a source of energy, but then because we people always want to be against each other, this resulted in these very destructive weapons. But now, this can be applied here too. I mean, we don't spend money to help our other people on Earth, so how can we deserve to learn other things and knowledge when we don't, when we haven't learned how to be human? This can cause again the same result.
That's the corporation also provide us.
Yeah. The international corporation. I didn't want to
And
say.
so, what's your
Imagine, all the astronauts are from different countries.
So what does this mean? That's just a symbolic action. I mean, the problems that are existing in our world don't unite us. This only just some symbols that those countries use to, I don't know how to say it,
so
maintain.
we here are
Yep.
suggesting a solution if we're gonna go out of resources. What can we do? What's your solution when we go out of resources? Every kind of resources, water or metals or even
food.
rocks or food. What's your solution then?
Well, it could be done, space traveling, but that's not what we should do now. I mean, we are facing more serious problems, and I wanted to say before that I think you all know Neil Armstrong, right?
Sure.
Just
Yeah.
before he was going to the first landing, he almost died because of a malfunctioning of a device there. And not only, and it's not the only accident that happened. In Russia, 127 people died because a device there exploded and killed everyone. And I mean that it might seem a small number,
It's
but
small,
not
of
many
course.
people work for NSA
I
or
think-
To add
other
to
things.
what Nazca said, just a minute.
Okay.
There are many accidents, many other accidents too. For example, in Xinjiang, in China, and a satellite called Intensal 708 crashed in a village and caused 100 people dead. And also another explosion was when fueling up Vostok 2M rocket caused 48 deaths.
Okay, we see your point, but if we don't try from now and find solutions to those problems that you said, when we go out of resources and
We
with
won't
try
be
that
ready.
moment, we won't be ready and many people will die.
Sorry,
Well,
Achilles, for interrupting,
This is
but
actually, yes, please.
you said before that there are many problems that humanity has to face. One of these problems, I guess, is the fuels from the exhaust fumes that cars and other
And spaceships
factors.
use.
Yeah, we searched that water from asteroids can be broken down into hydrogen and oxygen, and this is the main fuel that rockets use. And also, why not? I think we can make it on cars and other things too. So there are solutions. The wheel is the main point, and also before. Irene said about the international corporation. Well, there are other things that we must discuss, such as this I told before. And you may say as romantics, but we think that all these salaries that NASA pays to their astronauts, all these employees that has, all these people have a job.
Have a dream, first of
Yeah.
all.
And also this help all of us from the diseases, the machinery that we use every day, and all of us in this room uses so much devices and things that we don't even know where these came from. And this came from researchers, from scientists from all over the world. And
but
I
that's
can-
something.
Say something about the
Well, I think you've talked too much.
Okay, let me finish this and you have as many time as you want. In what Agapi said, that many deaths had occurred in space missions, these people knew that there will be a risk of becoming astronauts, so all they wanted to do is to help humanity to survive, I think. And the deaths brought new technologies in order to not be repeated, and helped too much in our.
Well, I don't think that was worth it to spend so much
They
money
knew
on
it.
human lives.
They knew it.
Well, even
It
if
was
they
their
knew it.
decision. You can't blame them.
So with what you're saying, I'll come back to the question I asked you. Do you own a cell phone?
Yeah, I
Yes.
do, as you
So
say.
what?
So what? If satellites weren't where they are, you wouldn't.
Satellites don't have to do with furthering into space.
Yes.
When using satellites
Oh.
just to help us, it's okay. But what is the point in exploring other planets or?
Well,
Okay,
Well,
okay.
Well,
That's not the same thing.
let me mention something.
You said about
Our
those
topic
planets.
was should we
Yeah.
venture
That's
further
venturing
into
into
space?
space.
So I don't think satellites are
Asteroids
something
are not
valid.
into space?
Yeah, but that's irrelevant with the.
It's not vent. It's
Okay,
not,
guys,
it's not
It's
venturing.
not venturing
I
into
want to
space.
say something.
How is not to know?
Assuming
Further.
that we are
It's
going further into space, do you think that traveling into space is like driving inside a car? It has
Of course not.
many risks, like zero gravity that cause many health problems to those poor astronauts, and also there are meteoroids and micrometeoroids that cause many.
Poor astronauts? Sorry, you
Poor
said
astronauts.
poor astronauts?
Yes,
Poor
of
animals,
course.
maybe,
They
because in many experiments they used animals.
Well,
They're not risky.
That's
Oh,
not
yeah.
in your favor.
That's in our favor, and also
That's not in your favor.
That's
because
not in
that-
your favor. They
micrometeoroids
find
and
the
meteoroids.
problems.
Sorry, can I finish what I said? Those micrometeoroids and meteoroids are causing damage to their spaceships, and that might cause them to die.
well,
Yeah.
And that saves the life of a lot of astronauts. They find the
Dying saves the
solution.
lives of the
they are
astronauts.
not obliged to do this work, they choose it.
They
And,
choose it, they
it's
want
their
it, they
job.
have the
But
courage to do
there
it.
are over like 40 years past since we landed on moon, and nothing has been.
Well, that's the reason
Really?
why
Well,
we are talking
you
about the
are
astronaut.
learning English 9 years or more and you don't have the excellent pronunciation yet.
And that's relevant to the space travel.
Yeah, it is.
I think you
As
don't have
well
a
as
counter
AI.
argument to support your opinion, and now you're just trying to change the topic.
Okay, go on.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah,
have a
let
question.
me let
Have a
me
question.
tell you something.
Sure.
Say more money is spent on venturing further to space, and people go to that meteorite you mentioned, and we take we scavenge all those resources
We
you
mind
mentioned.
them, yeah.
Yeah. So you mean we should continue consuming every resource we can find, and well, when the meteorites resources are gone, we'll have to find another one. So
No.
that's the way we should live. And not
that's
by-
what you understood.
Let me finish first.
Sorry, yeah.
Well, I think we shouldn't try it and find other resources, but just be not spend all of the existing ones, and well, we should use it in the correct way, and we shouldn't waste them. So yeah, I believe that if we do so, we won't have to worry about them running out for many years from now.
Well,
You
George,
will-
Say that the other.
Please say about
I
Leo Wilson, if you remember.
I won't say something because I will make a simple example. Your mother goes to the supermarket.
Yeah.
Of course.
Okay. She buys things for 1 month.
Yeah.
After this month and when the sizes of the house had ended, doesn't she go to the supermarket again?
Well, if we
No, you can eat just
Just to survive.
yeah, just survive and not eat too much. But if we venture, we can use what we need and even more, so we can make our lives easier.
No,
Why
that's
not
not.
appreciate our home Earth and going to another home?
Because
Yeah.
it will end.
Why?
It will
So,
end.
So do
So
something
if we
not
don't-
when.
So
do you know why we
so we
need
take
Find
care
ways
of
to
our
save
own
our
planet, our own home.
We
Then
take care, but
we don't take
this
Can I
care.
planet
answer?
takes care for us.
And we should take care of it.
Yes, but we can't
Not turn
take care
into
of
other
for
things.
it for too many years. Just as
I'm
it
sorry,
can
can I
be-
ask
we
you-
are we are thinking of only outside our planet. For example, if we find ways and we think only about how we're going to leave this planet because it might one day
Might?
explode. Okay, it might be also
it's
explode.
not might, it will sure.
It will. Okay, it will.
Well,
Everyone dies. Our planet will
Can I-
die once, and
Okay.
everyone
But we
comes to
must
an
save.
end.
Thank
we
you,
must
that was
save,
my point,
we-
thank
We
you.
must save the human race, and venturing into space is a solution.
So
Well,
humans
It's the only solution.
I want to answer on.
So you
what
have no
you-
solution but to choose to die. That's
May
your
I say
solution.
something?
Well, you will die one day. I will die one day.
I will die,
Everything
why
comes to an
humanity
end.
has to die?
Because
if I
everything
can
once,
save it, I
everything
will.
has a start
It's a
and an
sacrifice.
end.
But it's not
If
our
I can't
decision
save it,
to
I will.
make.
That's the circle of life.
Well, I want to answer what you.
It's not like this.
Right
sorry,
before.
sorry, but
May I
we're
say
running out of
something?
time.
Well,
So
I,
you should say what you want to say, and then
Stop.
guys from the crowd
question.
go on and the question.
Okay, I want to answer what you said. From the past, when we didn't venture into space, in the Middle Ages, in the medieval ages, etc., the world hadn't been better. It was getting worse, and when we find the technology, we did space travel and missions from the Apollo, and many problems were solved by that.
Well, in
Like,
the medieval
can
ages,
you give us an
everything
example?
humans did was to fight with each other, and that's why we didn't do anything. But now, I think we have many other aims, and not just fighting. Even
Common
though
aims.
it does
Well,
happen.
I agree with what you said before about making our world better, but because humans didn't have the will to do that, we have another solution which have been discussed since the debate started.
I want to.
Well, I think we should finish our.
Okay.
I
Close
want
now
to say
and-
something for you. Can I say something?
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
okay.
I wanted to ask about what you said before. Everything comes to an end. Well, that's not our decision to make. We want. We might not be alive anymore. Our ancestors will be. That's why we're selfish. We say, okay, I won't live then anymore. So why should I care?
No, we don't say this. We say only just to.
But
try-
NASA can provide. As Beko said before, there is an asteroid, and you know that it has a certain orbit.
Yes, but we have to try.
Do you think that if humanity were to colonize another planet,
No.
you will be sent there? Only some people would be sent there.
The poor,
Humanity
the-
would not be.
The rich one.
Yeah,
That's
would not be
my
safe.
point.
So
This is
what?
humanity.
If we
Better.
don't study
Better for
the
us.
asteroid,
I prefer to have a
That's
humanity
better
that
for us.
everyone is equal with everyone and not only the elite goes
Okay.
and
if
survive.
everyone
by
does
saying
That's
this,
this,
not,
we
that's
can
not a
finish.
fact today. What do you think it will be in the future?
but
Do
that's
you
not
think
what
we are
I
in
mean.
equality?
What I
Okay.
mean is, if we don't study the orbit of the asteroid, then we won't know exactly when it is about to fall on Earth.
Sorry, Irene,
Oh, you
but
don't say.
That's not fair thing.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
that's
Well,
okay.
okay, so now we can finish, I guess. So guys, do you have any questions? Yeah?
Previously, you said that humans haven't explored lots of things on Earth.
Yeah.
Do you believe that diving deeply into sea or go deep into a jungle might be more dangerous than space travel because they may live creatures that more dangerous than we have known till here? Have you ever thought this?
Well, I'm sure it's much it's less expensive than venturing to space. I'm sure about it, and I think people will spend less time. I mean, exploring our galaxy and going to diving to the sea is a much different thing. And I believe that the risks of traveling to space are much greater than the risks of exploring our home Earth.
Sorry, can I
And
add?
also-
However, there are.
I think that's the
Well,
answer for
they're less
us.
than
Exploring.
exploring the space.
And also we might
I'm sure.
find other resources. Other resources while diving into the depths of the sea. And who knows what we might find there. Maybe other things very important for us. Other questions? Okay.
Lastly, I want to ask you something about what you said previously about the deaths that caused due to the space travels. Well, thanks to space travel, scientists come up with a lot of medicines of diseases. If this travel won't be done, these medicines will not be invented.
Well, that's not quite true, because if scientists focused more on finding the medicines and they, like I said before, did not just come up as something that happened while searching for things for space traveling, if we focused on medicines, we would have quicker solutions about diseases and like cancer or AIDS or who knows what else.
Well, in NASA, a large amount of scientists are studying together. One mind alone, I don't think it may have came up with a solution. As 10 or 12 minds together.
We are not against those scientists, and we're against none of them. But we are again against space traveling. I mean, those scientists, of course, and must do their job and
They
find
have
those.
worked in favor of space traveling, though.
sorry,
Well,
but
so you mean that those medicines that they have come up with are just the indirect benefits of traveling to space. So, yeah,
Think about
Just
it.
like
If
the
that
incident.
was indirect,
well, if
think
that was
about the
indirect,
direct.
well, there are no direct benefits. And I mean, if we should have as our end aim those medicines or the new technologies, they should be, the world should be
This
better.
is a small glimpse of what space venture can bring to the humanity. I think.
The only direct technological advancement that has been caused by space traveling is the zero gravity simulation for me, I think. So it's something that is
There are no
totally
direct-
relevant with our
GPS
daily lives.
satellites.
Well, those
That's
are the
not
indirect.
necessary.
It is.
It is
It is
venturing.
outside there, so it's better.
Okay,
Yeah, but
so
it's not
should
exploring.
we... Any other questions?
It is exploring because there are the telescopes on the satellites. There
There
are
are
telescopes.
Around
You
the Earth,
explore.
not outside in the outer
Yes,
space.
further.
There are
We
Fair
can't
enough.
go in the outer
It's-
space.
I can't understand how you keep thinking.
Other questions?
Ίσως στο Στάρκος.
Well, if I may, I want to add something. To conclude with all of that we said before, well, I want to ask something. Well, if an individual studies, for example, what job can I say? To be a linguist. Is he going to save the earth? No. He does that because he likes it. And we must think that can save us and also to like that all these things because it's a specific field of science and many people are interested in that specific field. So it's
9 o'clock.
So you're saying that it's good because many people are interested in it?
No,
And it's
it's
that it's
another
not
idea.
saving the world because you make it you made a simile between linguists and astronauts, and linguists don't save the world as you said. So don't save the world.
In the way in that, for example, a linguist is not going to find resources that we need, but he will do something that he likes. And
Yes, we're not against the scientists that work at NASA, because they like it. We're only against of further traveling at this specific moment because there are other problems. We have already said about it. There are other problems that we should concern about. And
Okay.
Such as.
Okay.
We should finish now. Thank you, everyone.
You said
I
nothing.
think,
Not even a solution.
well, I think we all
Our
learned
field was
something
not
today. So that's all. Something clever.
What do you mean something clever?
This is.
I meant you say something clever.
It was clever.
It was very clever.
This is still recording.
Okay, so what did you think of the first debate, UFC students?
It was an absolute fail.
Why?
No.
Did she has a second question? Can she ask it?
What's
Go.
that?
About a year ago, I think, at news they saw pictures of Mars. They were things like skeletons. Don't you think that we should explore what they are, if they're life on other planets, and if they live there, have resources there that we can use?
I
Well-
believe that yes, because it's very selfless to think that we are alone in space. There are millions, billions of stars, and they all have life, or some of them have life.
This life, although, can be more advanced than us, and might want to. Why not? Might have bad intentions towards us.
You
So
never know.
this would be like a suicide. Why to do
There's,
this?
There is
there's,
the curious life.
Thank you,
side of
everyone.
life.
Let's go home now.
Stay